VariaDoc, wicked, flexible, so easy to use, not to mention affordable.
In this video, I'm going to explain how to group multiple data source items on a single page. This is referred to as pagination. Let's start with a pagination sample that we are all familiar with. If I search for bridges on Google, it returns millions of results. Instead of displaying all results on the same page, it displays the first 10. If we scroll down, we can see that we are on page 1. To see the next 10 results, we go to page 2, and so on. This is called pagination. Now let's switch to this 1095-C form of the IRS. Part 3 has room for 6 covered individuals. Now let's say that we have 14. The instructions tell us if there are more than 6 covered individuals, you will receive one or more additional forms 1095-C that continue Part 3. So we need 3 pages in total. One page for the first 6, another page for the next 6, and a last page for the remaining 2. Let's see how to do this with VariaDoc. We start off with a new empty project. First, I add an output document. Next, I add a data source and call it individuals. It is an Excel spreadsheet. If we preview the data, we can see it contains the names of 14 individuals. For demonstration purposes, I will skip the other fields such as SSN and DOB. Next thing is to add the 1095-C form. We use the first page only. Let's select the first name field in Part 3. To start, I enter the expression for the name column of our individuals table. If I preview the expression, I see all 14 names. Let's run the merge and see what happens. The output document has 14 pages. Each page has a single individual. This is not what we want. We add a pagination node to the page and call it group. It has only a single property, number of rows per page. We set it to 6. Let's run the merge again. The generated document now has 3 pages. This is as expected. If we look at the values, we see that page 1 has the first name, page 2 has the 7th name, and page 3 has the 13th name. That is also as expected. But still, only the first name field is filled out. Next thing is filling out the other 5 name fields. This requires some additional magic. We start by adding a field array under the pagination node. A field array allows us to specify the field name using an expression. The names of the fields that need to be filled out are these. As you can see, the IRS form designer introduced an anomaly. The field name in line 18 has a different scheme. If we look at the names of the 6 fields, we see that it has these variable parts. Let's start off with this expression. It uses the pagination node. The hash symbol refers to the index of the data item inside the page. We can see that after evaluation, it runs from 0 to 5. Note that the index is 0 based. In order to arrive at line 17 through line 22, we expand the expression like this. If we preview it again, we can see that we are getting closer. All 6 field names have a common first part, so we add it as literal text like this. Let's preview again. Next, we add the remaining variable part, just like we did for line 17 through line 22. We can see that we are almost there. The final bit is to solve the anomaly. We do this using the inline-if function. The inline-if function returns one of 2 strings depending on a condition. The condition here is being at line 18. This corresponds to pagination index 1. Remember that the index is 0 based. If we are at line 18, we should return hash subform, else we return ln plus the index. Let's preview one final time. The names now correspond exactly to those of the form. For the value of the field, we simply refer to the name column of the individuals table. The preview shows us all 14 names. Let's run the merge and take a look at the PDF. As you can see, all 14 individuals have been merged as expected.